we're getting the politics out of CDC and returning it to a science-based agency.
A couple of days ago, Secretary Kennedy says he's getting the politics out of the CDC. Now, I don't believe that you can actually do that. There's a saying, everything is politics, or at some point, everything runs from politics. And in a lot of ways for society, that is true. You can't get away from it completely, totally, etc. But when it comes to things like science, medicine, and what is morally, ethically right for people like people like us, let's say chronic pain patients, in those situations, politics should have nothing to do with it, or as little as possible. But that the way the CDC is run and the way that it is positioned itself and the way that it looks at chronic pain patients today and how it deals with pain management, all of that is 100% political and has almost nothing to do with science, medicine, morality, ethics, or any of that. So we're going to jump into it real quick. Hi all, I'm Marlon with Chronic Pain Warriors United. RFK has been talking about getting the politics out of the CDC for 7 months on and off since he became secretary. And now he's talking about it again recently after he just fired the director who had been there for all of 3 weeks. So hopefully we can actually start getting in his ear a little bit, start making some progress. So I'm kind of fired up. I'm Marlon with Chronic Pain Warriors United. I hope y'all have had a great week so far. I know it's Friday. I usually do these on Wednesday. Things got a little weird, but here we are. So let's jump right into it. The whole situation with the pain management system in the United States of America, as it sits right now, is controlled by the DEA, basically, and they control it using the standards and policies set by the CDC for the most part. So think of it sort of like this. The CDC creates some weird rule in the 2016 guidebook saying, we don't think that you should give a patient more than X morphine equivalent. It's hard to say. They basically take all the pain medications and they measure them against morphine. And they say, you should not give a patient above X morphine equivalency for that medication. It's totally arbitrary. It makes zero sense, especially because of the different ways these medications are handled by the body. Oxycodone has something like a 90% plus oral bioavailability. Excuse me. Morphine has something like less than 30% oral bioavailability, I think. It can't just all be like 1, 2, 3, 4, just rubber stamps. But that's how the CDC has done it. It's all just one way, and there is no room for reality. There's no room for any differences. And that's one of the biggest things that's caused so much harm with forced non-consensual tapers. And one of the main people who is responsible for this idea is the political hack named Andrew Kolodny. Here he is, and his group, PROP. It's held up as a doctor support group type thing. This is a 100% political think tank that is designed to make sure as few people as possible are ever given access to life-saving pain medication, no matter what their condition may be. And he is one of the When you're talking about a walking human pile of excrement, Andrew Kolodny is probably one of the most evil, non-military type people of this modern era. He is so terrible, and his policies and his ideas were turned into these things. Him and Prop had a huge hand in writing the 2016 opioid prescription guidelines, and a big part of that were the forced tapers, non-consensually forced tapers, might I add. Doctors came along when patients, especially chronic pain patients, were on stable, healthy, doing well with their pain medication level type thing, and they're like, all right, we're going to start cutting your pain medications by half or more every time you come to see us from now on until you're down to nothing. It's so evil. Even the 2022 CDC opioid guideline updates repudiated that part from 2016. They said it was wrong. They said it shouldn't have been done. And they've been telling doctors not to do it for 3 years now. But do they listen? No, because the DEA, the bureaucrats with the badges, who again made regulations with the force of law out of these guidelines that have none. These guidelines have no force of law. That's why your doctor will laugh at you when you bring them up if they go against him, and he'll completely ignore them if they're in your favor in some way that helps you in something that you don't want him to do. He'll just ignore them. But if they go against you and he wants to do something, he will use them as the reason that he's doing it. You see what I'm saying? It's either way. These guidelines, Secretary Kennedy, have to be repudiated. They have to be burned down and destroyed as the hyper-political garbage that they are. They came from the ether, basically, of the media, of the DEA, and the CDC, creating an opioid crisis out of thin air that did not exist at the time. Not really. And by their own, basically wishing it into existence, and through policies that were absolutely asinine, they did create a problem. And it is called the fentanyl flood. And it is killing people, sir. And it can be stopped very quickly and easily. Just not with the policies like this, and not with the DEA. So, Secretary Kennedy, if you're serious about getting the politics out of the CDC, I applaud you. I want to work with you. We have to address these 2016 and 2022 guidelines. They are killing people every day, my friend. They are killing our compatriots every single day all over this country. They are giving doctors far too much power over free men and women. We've got to do something about it. Please. It has to be done. All y'all pain warriors out there, I do not make direct pleas like that very often. Y'all probably only heard it once or twice before. But all of y'all within the sound of hearing of my voice, please get onto X, get onto Facebook, get onto Instagram, go to the HHS, wherever, and start sending Secretary Kennedy stuff about these guidelines. I am not even sure if he knows what they are. I'm really not. And it's got to be brought up, and they've got to be dealt with. Cheers all. We'll see you soon. I'm Marlon with Chronic Pain Warriors United. My mouth is about totally dry now, and I forgot to bring some water with me, so I got to go. I love y'all. I love all y'all guys. We'll see y'all real soon. Cheers and be well.